So welcome back to our sew along. We are to the next last video. We're going to be inserting those sleeves and we're going to be doing them using French seams. You can do this. I know that French seams might be a little bit intimidating at first, but I'm telling you, you can do them and you will thank yourself for doing it because it will make your garment look so much better and definitely be like that heirloom quality that you're after. So what we're going to be doing is putting 2 rows of gathered stitches at the top of the sleeve, and then we're going to be putting the sleeve and the dress wrong sides together. So the wrong side of the sleeve will be touching the wrong side of the dress. And I like to match up the bottom of the sleeve of those bottom seams first, so the side seam of the sleeve to the side seam of the dress. I like to match those up first and put a pin in, and then I like to put the top of the sleeve to the shoulder seam and put a pin in. And then so for there you're kind of adjusting the gathers for one side and for the other side, and I generally put in 1 pin on each side, but to each their own, and then I sew around that seam. Okay, I can't remember what the seam allowances are on Old Fashioned Baby, but you could sew, if it was, say if it was 3/8 of a seam allowance, you could sew this first seam about 1/4 inch, and then you'd have 1/8 of an inch for the next round. See what I'm saying? If it's 1/2 of an inch, you could sew 3/8 of an inch now, and then you'd have that 1/8 of an inch left over for the next round. I can't remember though which way it is. Anywho, so then you're going to sew along around that seam, or around that sleeve, and then you're going to trim that seam up. Sorry, we've got dishes going in the background. And then you're going to trim that seam just really close, or you're going to trim that fabric really close to the seam. I like to do about 1/8 of an inch, and I find that works fairly well. I think 1/16 of an inch is really, me personally, I think it's a little bit on the small side for it being a sleeve, and it's going to get tugged on a little bit. So I think 1/8 of an inch is pretty good. So once you're done trimming, then you're going to flip the seam, flip the sleeve, so it's now on top of your garment. So it's like right sides are now touching. And you kind of can just wiggle the seam until it's where you want it, if that makes sense. I just use my finger, like my pointer finger and thumb. I can kind of wiggle that seam out until it's laying nicely and flat. And if you want to put some pins in, go for it. I generally don't do, I've been doing French seams for a little while now. I started doing them because Dress Them Dearly, Abby with Dress Them Dearly was like, she started doing them, and she had a permanent store on her Instagram, and I was like, well, I guess I should watch this. And I was like, why haven't I been doing this? This is not that bad, you know? And ever since, I have been doing French seams almost every time, and I love them. So I did use pins when I did French seams on silk charmeuse, because that stuff slips around like, I mean, like nothing else. But otherwise, I don't find that using pins is all that helpful. If you think it's helpful, by all means do it. She does it. She loads hers up with pins, and there's no right or wrong. So if it helps you, you do it. But yeah, so you'll get that seam in the place, and then you'll just stitch around. And that's how you install a sleeve using a French seam. It is lovely, isn't it? So you can pull out your gather threads, and that is that. You'll do the same thing obviously for the other side. There's only 2 to do, so you just, you know, take your time, be patient with it. You only have 2 to do. You'll get her done. So if you have any questions, put them down in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them. And as always, I appreciate y'all for watching, and I hope to catch y'all next time.